Gia, thank you for reaching out to me today, Saturday, November the 9th, 2024, and seeing if your daughter Courtney has anything to say from heaven to you today. As you know, I live on a farm. As you know, when I connect with any soul, that becomes a permanent connection for me. And I've been connecting with your daughter, Courtney, who has been in heaven for a few years now. So when I connect with Courtney, it's not just, Courtney, what are you saying? You know, when you reached out to me this morning, Gia, Courtney already comes in as soon as I see your message. At that point, I'm like, Courtney, hold on, I got to do some things, you know? Again, remember, angels have no time. So she's always like, okay, whatever, you know? So I went about my business, doing my things. And as you also know, at that point, you know, Spirit will just kind of continue to flow through me. And so I just kind of grab a hold of all of that and keep doing what I need to do. And then I take the time to sit down and put it all together. So I had a beautiful connection with Courtney this morning on this really beautiful Saturday. I need you to see this right now, Gia, because it's, well, when I say I need you to see it, well, Courtney needs you to see it. And I am up on, this is what I refer to as Beaver Hill on our farm. This is part of our property that is on the other side of the fenced area, so I don't allow my sheep and, you know, big dogs and you know, the chickens and all that to come out here, which, well, is a special place for me to come, you know? So that's right where it's starting off right here, and it's always that way with Courtney, with you, Gia, is Courtney continues to do all she can as your daughter, her soul as an angel from heaven, to guide you, direct you, lead you, protect you, love you, show you, share with you such things in life that she knows you not only deserve, but you can also benefit from. The first thing when I connected with Courtney this morning is she went straight into a vision. And this vision was of you, Gia. I don't know where you were sitting, maybe on a bed, I'm not really sure, but you were kind of just, you know, you were kind of just like this, just kind of like crying, not really tears or anything, but you were just like, you know, sorrow. And at that point in the vision, Courtney handed you a Care Bear. Do you know Care Bears? I never had a Care Bear. Isn't that funny? I think I had a little one at one time, but I was never really into Care Bears. She gave to you in this vision a Care Bear, and I could see very specifically on this Care Bear's stomach, and I don't know much about Care Bears, but I could see on this Care Bear's stomach a rainbow. Okay? Remember that everything that Courtney presents to me through such visions is not necessarily memories. This isn't saying that she had a Care Bear or that a Care Bear means anything to you. It could be also in the way of charades that angels like to utilize life in such metaphor and cliches along with charades to get their message across to us in life. So clearly what a Care Bear would represent is very simple. Your daughter cares. And bears like to hug, stuffed animal bears anyway. She said in rather a poetic way, and I love this because I've mentioned to you before how smart Courtney is and how I feel that she wasn't really recognized in her life for the level of her intelligence, you know. She didn't quite get to that point in her life where she could really represent herself in her actual smart ways and poetic ways. And so at this point, after she showed me the Care Bear vision, she said, let it go, let it flow, just say no. She busted a little, you know, I don't know, mama be happy move, you know, like she was like, just say no, you know. These are her ways of trying to make you laugh. She knows that you're a big laugher. She knows you love laughing. She loves your laughter. She loves hearing your laughter from heaven. And when I put my hand up here to the skies, like, heaven is not just in the skies. Heaven is everywhere, literally. Heaven is within us. Heaven is before us. Heaven is in these little flowers and weeds and trees spurting up from the fields here. Heaven is everywhere, so long as we seek it, so long as we receive it, so long as we yearn to feel peace and joy. This is what your daughter as an angel is going to do for the rest of your life. Courtney's in a life of eternity. She's never going to stop loving you. She's never going to stop giving you messages. She then showed me a vision of, she was holding a number 2 pencil. You know, pencils like we use in school. And like when you did the SATs and when you do tests, you know, they always give you just that, your classic school number 2 yellow pencil. She was writing with the pencil, and I tried to actually, in the vision, I tried to actually get a peek into the words that she was writing. And she kind of did one of these like, no, you don't need to see the words. It's not about the words. Okay, so I keep going on with that part of the message. She then takes the pencil and puts it into her, I don't have a pencil with me, but she like puts it into her mouth, like, you know, and she's just holding it there. She's like, I believe what she was showing me this vision for was to, well, she's been telling you, sharing with you, asking of you, wanting for you for a long time now, Gia, to write, to journal. Have a diary, you know. She really is pushing that for you. She then showed me, she was holding her finger out like this, and there was just a little moth, not a butterfly, a moth, M-O-T-H, and it was just sitting on her finger. And she was kind of just sitting here like this, looking at the moth, and then I could see on Courtney's back, she had her little fairy wings. We know Courtney loves her fairy wings. This is what people don't realize in heaven, is that, you know, we think about angels with wings, you know, well, why would there be a fairy as an angel? It doesn't matter. We don't need to ponder such thoughts. It is what it is. Even in heaven, it is what it is. Your daughter is not only an angel, she is also a fairy, among many other things. She also had me feeling your breathing the past several days. Your breathing has not been asthmatic, not asthma, not like wheezing, not like sick or congested or anything like that. She has me feeling the weight of the world on your chest. I'm feeling it right now as I'm delivering this message to you. Again, very heavy right here. And when we get that heaviness in here, Gia, we need to release it, okay? We need to release it. And we can't release it if we're not doing something to release it. Writing is one of the biggest, greatest ways to release such heaviness. Nobody needs to read your words. These are your words alone. That's why they call it diaries. She also then at that point said, she was like, I don't know, is this like Snow White? From the, and again, you know, this is what I try to explain too, fairy tale lives, you know, because she was singing that, is it from Snow White, I think? Hi ho, it's off to work we go, you know, and that's a happy sound when you think of that. And I think that was Snow White. I could be wrong, but think about hi ho, it's off to work we go. I know that in life when we have our jobs, you know, we have a work that we go to. I mean, most people don't realize like it's money. We got to do what we got to do. We got to work. It doesn't mean we love our jobs, you know, or we look forward to it. But Courtney is really wanting you to incorporate into your work days fun. Somehow, some way, I don't know. This is for you, Gia. This does become, as I've shared with you all these many years now, part of your treasure hunt, part of your seeking trinkets and treasures and discovering ways to release your heaviness, to release your sorrow, and to create fun. So next time you go into work, just, I don't know, be goofy, be silly. See how everybody responds to you. She's here right now. She shows me a vision of a bean bag. You know, big bean bag, B-E-A-N. I'm sitting on a rock right now, but you know, a bean bag. And she showed me this vision. She just goes, woo, and she like flops down onto this bean bag, and she's just, you know, laughing. And she then looks at you in this vision, and she's like, come on, Ma, come lay on the bean bag with me. We know that Courtney has a young soul. We know that she's fun. We know that you're fun. We know that you have a young soul. You have a young soul that has been grieving for many years now. She wants you to continue finding ways each and every day to experience your own joy, your own little things in life. If you have a beanbag, you better get on that beanbag tonight, okay? She then showed me another vision. Today was all about visions too, by the way. I mean, she was like boom, boom, one vision after another. We already know Courtney has shared over the past many months now, the clover, in particular, the 3-leaf clover, not the lucky 4-leaf clover. We discovered at that point the meaning behind the 3-leaf clover is of biblical reference to the 3 entities of heaven, which are God, Jesus, and Spirit. To me, whenever I talk about spirits, you know that I also mean the same thing as souls and angels. When she showed me this vision of the clover, she was just kind of like twirling it. Well, I'm sure I could look down in the field anywhere, but of course now the one spot I'm sitting, there are no clovers around me. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, she was just kind of holding this clover, twirling it around. And then she was looking around, and there was leaves everywhere falling, which of course right now we are in the season of early fall, and leaves are falling, not metaphorically, literally leaves are falling everywhere. But as she was twirling in this vision, the clover, and I saw these leaves falling, and she was looking up, what I was feeling, Gia, was your daughter's soul directly connecting to yours. She's having me look over here right now. I can't believe this. I gotta get up and get this for you, okay? So the other day I was giving a spirit message to somebody, and it was about daisies, and I was like, there's no daisies in this field. Do you see any daisies in this field? There are no daisies in this field. But I found daisies that day, and right now she just has me come over here. She says these are for you. That's these are things I mean, sure, I can make up anything. You know I'm a writer. You know I love being creative, but when it comes to spirit messages, they are not my spirit messages, first of all. There's nothing for me to claim. There's nothing for me to prophesize or, you know, prove. But these flowers are for you, Courtney. She also said, well, this was now, but she said earlier, be still. Be still. These are very powerful, simple words, Gia. I actually have them hanging in my barn. And it is very famous words, actually, that God, you know, says to us in life a lot. Is just be still and know that I'm God. When an angel says be still, such as Courtney did today, what she wants you to do is to be still, still enough, so that you can release further of your sorrow, to release. In order for Courtney and heaven to continue refueling your soul in life with goodness, with peace, with joy, you have to release the heaviness, the burdens, the drudgeries, the shams, and all of that of life. Otherwise, they just get, you can't, if you add water to a full cup, what's going to happen? The water is going to overflow, okay? It's important to release that water from the cup so you can add more water to it. What is this now? I got a piece of grass in there. When we are still, this allows us to open our soul, our mind, and our body to receiving heaven's divine fuel of love and of life. Courtney wants you to, at some point, if you don't go outside, you know she wants you outside. She wants you involved in nature. She's really big into nature. And in heaven, that's always where she is. I've never seen Courtney inside of any sort of, building or home or anything like that. Courtney is always outside. She is always by a creek. She is always by trees. She is always everywhere, which was interesting also because she showed me a vision of a hammock. Okay, a hammock, like you sit in between two trees. And I could tell without even seeing who it was. First of all, I don't see faces when we're alive in life. So I couldn't see the face, but I knew it was Ed. And Ed was on this hammock. And it was funny to me, was that as he was on the hammock, I could see he was reading a magazine. And all I could see on the front, as he kind of was going through the magazine, I could see the front cover had a guitar on it. I don't know if Ed reads guitar magazines. If he doesn't, know that this is a metaphorical charades way of Courtney delivering to Ed that he needs to relax too. He needs to get himself into a hammock with a good magazine or something and chill. If it's not a hammock, find a chair, a butterfly chair, something, whatever. She then also showed me a vision of the two of you. Now this is another movie too, like a Disney movie. Oh God, which one was it? I can't think of it. It's two dogs, a cartoon's. Okay, so the vision was of you and Ed, and there was one plate, and on the plate was spaghetti. Spaghetti. And you were feeding Ed, and Ed was feeding you. And you looked like two little lovebirds. Two little puppies in love. Puppy love, she says. Puppy love. Remember that. That message was dual part because it wasn't just about puppy love, it was about love. And it was about the reality that in life, when tragedy strikes us and grief and sorrow, the loss of a loved one, our daughter, it is so hard to stay connected with those in life that we love and that we need. It is much easier for us to pull away from those we love and to seclude ourselves, isolate ourselves even. It is so important for you and Ed to remain one as two together. We know that Ed loves cooking. Maybe he needs to make spaghetti this weekend. And maybe you need to feed Ed his spaghetti and have him feed you. That would be so funny, actually. I know that you would laugh. At the same time, Courtney from heaven, which is again, not just up here, it's everywhere. Courtney, as your angel, would be feeling that love between the two of you, and that is all she wants. It's not that you don't love each other. She knows your love is real. She wants you to remain connected. Very, very important. The end of this message was she was looking at me directly, okay? And remember, I've also told you this, that whenever an angel is giving me a vision, and in that vision, their eyes are looking, this is so big, they are looking directly into my eyes. That is the most important part of the message for you. And so as she ended this message today, what she did, Gia, is she did like this. And this is why I came to this field today, which I do call Beaver Hill. Okay, we've got a creek all through back there that goes all the way around our farm property. It's a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful place back here. And so she then gives me this vision. It wasn't this field. It was a field in heaven, actually. And she was doing this. Like, come here. And so in the vision, I followed her, of course. I always follow angels, you know that. And as I followed her, well, she took me to a field. And at first, all I could see was white. All white, like almost like the white of clouds with light, but light that you can't even describe. And it was like I stepped into another world. And once I got into that whiteness, which I knew was a field, all of a sudden it was all pink. And I'm talking translucent, clear, vibrant, how do you say translucent and clear, vibrant? This is what I see with heaven a lot, is the colors have no definition here in this life because there's no dimension to color in heaven. The only way I can describe it is pink. It was more than pink, but it was very bright, and everywhere these pink flowers. And she still was doing this to me, and then she looks down, and I don't see any pink flowers out here today. I don't, but that would be fascinating. I see yellow flowers everywhere. But at that point in this vision, she picked a pink flower, and she handed it to me while still looking directly into my eyes. And she didn't have to say a word to me. She was delivering those flowers to you. She just delivered you 2 flowers today. She delivered these daisies out of nowhere while I'm giving the message, but earlier she delivered these pink flowers to you. Gia, if I were you, I'd take a walk outside today. I don't know where you live, as far as what your environment looks like around you, but seek such things as flowers. Go out there. I come out here every day and I cut stuff like this. Look, that's why I have my scissors with me today. This is a field, and I just come out and I cut. This smells so good. I heard I can make tea out of it. How do I say this? So when you think about heaven having no time, well, that means there's no stress, because the only reasons we stress in life is because of time. Make sense? So when we get ourselves out into nature, our being actually is programmed to release all of that time as we seek to just see whatever we see. It is a very freeing feeling, beautiful feeling. The last thing she showed me, Gia, was the Washington Post newspaper from today, Saturday, November the 9th. I don't even get the newspaper. I don't know why she showed me this today. If I were you, I would also go out to the store, somewhere today and pick up the daily newspaper, the Washington Post. I don't know. You're going to have to look through it and see what this becomes part of your treasure hunt again. And that's what angels want for us in life. You know this, Gia, is they want us, angels, heaven, want God and Jesus. Heaven wants us to continue being curious. It's one of the most beautiful things when we are a child to be young, right? Is that we have that innocence of just, well, when we're young, time doesn't really mean anything to us, Time only becomes important as we get older and older in life and have more and more responsibilities. You can't lose your responsibilities. You are an adult. You are not a child. And yet, we should never lose the innocence and purity that will always live within us so long as we keep that innocence alive within ourselves. It's up to you. Nobody else can keep you young at heart, young in mind. You and your daughter. This was a beautiful message. They're always beautiful messages from Courtney. I'm so grateful every time that you do reach out to me, Gia. I love you. I'm going through a pretty rough time here. Lots and lots going on. And so whenever I do connect with Courtney, whenever I connect with angels, whenever I connect with heaven, it is a most beautiful cleansing for me to be able to receive such messages from heaven and then be able to deliver them. Very much so like the postal service, right? Delivering mail. We want that mail to be delivered. Unless it's a bill. We don't want bills delivered. We just want good, fun mail, like magazines. Next time you're at the store, get a guitar magazine for Ed, too, if he doesn't already have guitar magazines. Look at this stuff that's going all in my face and my eyes now. Anyway, I love you so much, both you and Ed. I hope this message finds you both in peace and gives you a smile. I hope that you can feel your daughter. I know that you do. I love feeling your daughter's soul. We'll talk to you soon.